In this very lecture, I will try to cover an important short story by the Russian writer Evgeny Yevtushenko. And the name of the story is Standing Up for Yourself. Standing Up for Yourself. In this story, we learn that one should not be afraid of anyone. One should not be frightened of everyone or anyone, you can say. And in the story, a character in the name of Red is all the time trying to dominate others because of his superiority complex. Superiority complex in the sense that he has a muscles, big bodily constructions, big bodily structure, and also he is possessing a weapon in the name of a knuckle duster. And because of these things, he all the time dominating others, torturing others, taking money from others all the time. So he's like a hooligan. He is the ruler of the street. He is a don of the street, and everyone is fearful of the character Red, this very man. But among these people, among these common people, there is a person in the name of writer, you can say, that he thinks that he should not be fearful of anyone because cowards die many times before their death. So one who is fearful died 100 times before their death. So one should not be timid, one should not be coward. Rather, he should overcome any kind of phobia, any kind of fear of his mind. And one who is valiant, who is gallant, who is fearless in his life, taste the death only for one time. But those who are cowards die 100 times before their death. That's why William Shakespeare's Julius Caesar were getting a quotation: cowards die many times before their death. Later we are getting a concept in the name of hegemony. Hegemony means the dominance of the superior or superiority over inferiority. And in this story, the character Red is extremely powerful, not only because of his physical structure, but also as he is possessing a knuckle duster weapon. And because of these two reasons, he is powerful, he is strong, and all the time he is hegemonizing, he is dominating, he is ruling over others, and everyone is fearful of him. So now we are going to start the story, Standing Up for Yourself. Now the story begins with a description of the writer, as it is one kind of autobiographical story and first person narrative. That's why I am going to start the story. In 41, I was living alone in an empty flat in a quiet Moscow street. Now, the writer was residing at Moscow street in a lonely place, you can say flat. And from familiar background, his parents were divorced and his father got married. Bigamy, you can say monogamy, bigamy, polygamy means double marriage. So his father and mother have been divorced, and his father again married and gave birth to 2 children. But the narrator or the writer sometimes got messages from his father. And about his mother was at the front, every war place you can say. She had given up her work as a geologist to become a singer and was giving concert for his troops. Now, First of all, his mother was working as a geologist, and later he has found, she has given up her work as a geologist, and later she is working in a troops, orchestral troops, and giving some concerts. Now, my education was led to the street. The street taught me to swear, smoke, speak elegantly through my teeth, and to keep my peace at the ready, a habit which I have to this day. Now, as the narrator or the writer is living in the street, as a result, he is always ready to fight it with anyone, and he learns to smoke and swear and also to speak elegantly through his teeth from the musician. In this way, we speak. So all these are things he has learned from the street life. Nextly, the street taught me not to be afraid of anything and anyone. This is another habit I have kept. And also, the street life has taught him not to be afraid of anyone and anything. He should be fearless. He should be dauntless. He should not be daunted by everyone. So he has no any care, you can say he has no any fear for anything and anyone. Now, I realize that what mattered in the struggle for life was to overcome a fear of those who are stronger. And all the time, he has learned that the one thing in life is to overcome the fear. Overcome the fear of the stronger. He should not have any kind of inferiority complex in his mind. He should not be hegemonized. He should not be dominated by anyone. And he should be strong, and all the time that writer is trying his best to overcome his fear. Yes, to overcome his fear. And now the second unit, we are getting the description of the character Red, the hooligan, the very, you can say, the ruler of the street. So the ruler of the street was a boy about 16, who was nicknamed Red. So the ruler's name is Red. Question may come. The character description of Red. Red was big, broad-shouldered, beyond his years. So Red is very big, means from physically or physical construction you can say, he is very big and broad-shouldered, beyond his years. Means he is 16 years old, but his physical structure says that he is above it. Now we are getting the gait, the manner of walking of the character Red. Red walked masterfully up and down our street, legs wide and with a slightly rolling gait, like a seaman on his deck. Now, the character Red all the time walks in this very masterful way, like a don, like a ruler. Yes. And because of his also gait, everyone also fearful of him. Everyone is afraid of him, like a don he is. Now, we are getting the pros and cons description of the character Red. From under his cape, its peak always at the back of his head. His forelock tumbled down in a fairy cascade, and out of his round pock-marked face, green eyes like a cat's circled to escort for everything and everyone. Now, he all the time use the cape in opposite way, and pig will be behind. And his hair, forelock you can say, tumbled down like a cascade. In this way, tumbled down. You get down, there is no any proper sitting up there you can say. And out of his round pock-marked face, and his face is full of mark you can say, because he's a don, he's a hooligan. He all the time is busy in fighting with others. As a result, his face is with full poke mark face, you can say, and his eyes like a green eyes, and like a cat's market to score for everything anyone and everyone. And he despises everyone. He looks down upon everyone all the time. He looks everything, everyone with scornful eyes in this way. So he hates everything and everyone, you can say. 2 or 3 lieutenants in his picked caps back to the front, like raids, tripped at his heels now. He has a bodyguard, you can say, the retinue, you can say, the followers, you can say, and they are called the lieutenants, and they are always near his heels. Now, Red could stop any boys and say, impressive with the one word money, hey, money there. And his lieutenants would turn out the boys' pockets, and if he resisted, they beat him up hard. And now, if anyone opposed or resisted or bargained against the attitude of the character Red, the Red, including his followers, beaten or have beaten others, black and blue. If you don't give me money, I will give you or I will beat you. Black and blue. Black and blue means to beat someone severely. And everyone was afraid of Red. So was I. So like everyone, I was also afraid of the character Red. I knew he carried a heavy metal knuckle duster in his pocket, and people are extremely fearful of him, not only because of his physical structure, but also because of the knuckle duster he is keeping in his pocket. And because of this weapon, everyone is fearful of him. Now, third unit. But one day, the writer thought that I should not be fearful of the character Red. Day by day, I am suffering from inferiority complex. I become a coward. I become a timid. But I should delete this cowardice, timidity, you can say. So I wanted to conquer my fear of Red. So I wrote a poem about him. Now, it is said that pen is mightier than the sword. The power of pen is always mightier, more powerful in comparison to the power of the sword. So this pen is more powerful than the power of the sword. So as a writer is a writer, you can say. So one day he has written or composed a poem, and in this poem he has critiqued or lampooned, or you can say attacked Red severely. Oh, Red is very hooligan type, very rascal, you can say, all the time bullying others, intimidating others, dominating others, and everyone is panicked because of him. Everyone is a panic-stricken condition, you can say. So, writer now started penning or writing a poem or composing a poem. Now, this was my first piece of journalism in verse. By the next day, the whole street knew it by heart and exulted with triumph and hatred. Now, everyone has started reading my poem, has learned the mischievous, wicked activities of the character Red, and they showed a triumphant hatred, extreme scorn towards the character Red. Now, one morning, on my way to school, I suddenly came upon Red and his lieutenants. Now, one day, I am confronted to the character Red. Red comes in front of me and is saying, his eyes seem to bore through me, means looking at me extremely with anger, with disgust, you can say. Here, bore through means to stare in a way that makes somebody feel uncomfortable, means the character Red is looking at the writer in such a way that the writer feels uncomfortable. You can say very nervous, because character Red is very hooligan type, wicked, mischievous person. Now he is saying, oh, the poet, He drolled, he commented, oh, the poet, smiling crookedly. So you ride horses to the ride now. Ironically, the character Red is saying to the writer, oh, the writer, you write verses right, but do the right. Now, like villainous action, you can say, Red sent, darted into his pocket, and came out a knuckle duster and give a punch. Suddenly, the writer became senseless. As ditching, you can say in this way, wielding a mood, the writer becomes senseless. I fell down, steaming with blood, and blood is coming down profusely from his head because he has been beaten black and blue by the character Red, and lost consciousness, became senseless. This was my first emotion as a poet, first reward as a poet. I spent several days in bed. When I went out, with my head still bandaged, I again saw Red. I struggled with myself, I lost and looked to my heels. Then, at home, I rolled on my bed, biting my pillow and pounding it in same unimportant fury. And my cowardice, I made up my mind to vanquish it at whatever cost. Now, the writer has been hospitalized and already he becomes senseless. All the time he is shameful because of his cowardice activity, because he was unable to bargain, to oppose, to resist the character Red. Now he has made up his mind that anyhow I have to defeat Red anyhow. I should not be coward, because cowards die many times before their death. So those who are cowards die many times before their death. So don't be coward. Don't be timid. Don't be fearful of anyone. Don't be afraid of anyone, because the cowards die many times before their death. But those who are gallant, those who are valiant, always taste or embrace death in his life for only one time. Yes?
Yes.
Now, fourth unit. Now, to develop his bodily structure, I went into a training with parallel bars and weights. Yes, go to gym, you can say, to develop his physical structure. After every session, I would feel my muscles, they were getting bigger, but slowly, now day by day, slowly, gradually, his muscles are being increased. Yes, if you go to gym, you will see your muscles are increasing, your pecs are increasing, you can say. Then I remember something I had read in a book about miraculous Japanese method of wrestling, which gave an advantage to the weak over the strong. And besides going to the gym center, you can say, with a view to developing his physical structure, he has read a miraculous Japanese method of wrestling, which gave an advantage to the weak over strong. And this book will help the weak people, the inferior people, to fight against the strong. The name of the book is Jiu-Jitsu Method book. And I extend a weak lesson card for a textbook on Jiu-Jitsu, a Japanese method of fighting technique, we can say. For 3 weeks, I stayed at home, practicing with 2 other boys. Then I went out, and practice makes a man perfect. So besides going to the gym, besides reading or going through the books in the name of Jiu-Jitsu, he has practiced more and more. So practice makes a man perfect. So within short time, he has practiced a lot and he has learned how to be strong, how to defeat the character Red, how to defeat the strong people, or superior people, you can say. Then I went down. Now, the confrontation, the fight between Red and the writer. Red was sitting on the lawn in our yard, playing with Bingadu with his left hand. Bingadu means card game, and he was busy in playing card games with his followers, bodyguards, you can say lieutenants. Ironically, they are compared as, or they are described as lieutenants. He was totally absorbed in the game, and he was totally absorbed in the game, you can say. Now, although fear is ringing in his heart, Pierre was still leaving me, urging me to go back. All the time, Pierre is telling me, "Oh, writer, go back, otherwise you will be beaten black and blue by the writer, by the red character again." I went up to the players and kicked and scattered the card. Now I went to the place and give a kick, and all the cards have scattered. Now, Red looked up climatic situation. Red looked up, surprised at my impudence after my recent fight. So the character Red extremely flabbergasted by the behavior coming from the side of the writer. Now he got up slowly. "You looking for more? Means already you have been beaten black and blue by me. You need more funds from my side?" He asked me simply, dangerously. Now the same technique, Red is going to pick his knuckle duster to fight with the writer, but the writer has not given any chance to the character Red. As before, he had dived into his pocket for the knuckle duster. Now he is plunging his fingers into his pocket to take the knuckle duster so that it can fight with the character writer, you can say. But I made a quick jabbing movement, and Red, howling with pain, now giving jabbing movement, and rolled on the ground, and now the character Red fall into the ground and tumbled down in the ground, you can say. Bewildered, dumbfounded, perplexed, amazed, he got up and came at me swinging his head furiously from side to side like a maddened bull, and he extremely angry. He has gone berserk, extremely infuriated, and now he turned into like a bull, maddened bull, and is coming towards me to attack me. I caught his wrist and squeezed slowly as I had read in the book, and now he started applying the Jujitsu method technique until the knuckle duster dropped from his lip fingers. Now from his fingers, knuckle duster dropped. Gnashing his hand, Red fell down again. He was sobbing, smearing the tears over his pockmarked face with his derby face. Now the character is totally defeated. He has been beaten black and blue in return by the writer. The day Red ceased to be the monarch of our street, and from this day the character is Red is no longer the ruler of the street, no longer, and everyone has learned how to defeat the character Red. And from the day on, I knew for certain that day one need not to fear the strong, one should not be fearful of the strong. All one needs is to know the way to beat them, and everyone comes to know how to fight the character Red along with his followers. For every strong man, there is a special Jujitsu, and everyone learned the Jujitsu method, and everyone has learned how to fight with such hooligans. What I also learned on this occasion was that to be a poet, I have not only to write poems but know how to stand up for them. And as a writer, not only I have learned to write, but also I have learned how to protest wrong. Yes, so one should not tolerate any kind of wrong, injustice. One should always bark against, to oppose, and to fight with the wrong, any kind of injustice coming to your life. Yes, in the same way, people, including the writer, have learned how to fight with the Red. Means Red represents a kind of wrong, injustice happening in our society, in the world. So one and everyone should fight with any kind of wrong in his life. Complete.